We speak about the gravitational magnetic field of the planet. We speak about inertia. In the world of the science of the creation of the man, we speak about the soul of the man, which is gravitational magnetic field of the totality. But what is that elusive inertia, which we have chosen another word? We call inertia as the interaction of the matter-state field strength. We call inertia in the body of the man the spirit, where the soul interacts with the totality of the fields of the universe, where the spirit or inertia involved only with the structure of the physicality of the existence of the planet or the body. When you travel to another dimension with another gravitational magnetic field, the soul will still stay the same, but now the spirit of the man, the inertia of the internal field forces of the man, has to deal with the inertia field forces of the planet. And this will give the new shape of the man, as the man will be different. And the shape of the man will become a dimension of the existence of the time, position, and the place. And how you interact, how the fields interact. Would you become like a fish in the oceans of the liquid of the planet? You become the bird in the skies of it, or you become a man on the ground of it. Now you understand the isotopes and how we look at the plasma interaction. As I said, man has chosen many words for the same thing. We call it inertia in the world of physics. We call it the spirit in the dimension of the life of the man. Then mankind become wise to understanding the totality and knowing how we will behave. Different inertias have created gold, oxygen, and the rest. What would your inertia in the dimension of the plasmatic condition with moon will create a new you? Would you be the structure of the gold or the hydrogen? The totality of the knowledge sits within the structure of the enhancement unit within it. From everything which a man is made of, we have created a field. Do you need a bone structure on the moon? Do you need a bone structure in another dimension in the universe? Or would you stay to become new structures we have never known? A combination of, a totality of. A way that allows us to be. In the dimension of the physical man, we are just as it is, bones stuck to each other to create what we call the shape of the man. When you look at the structure of the fish, some fishes have that bone structure which we are familiar with. Have you looked at the structure of the bone of the glowfish? Isn't it made of connection of the star parts? As it blows itself up, the structure and position become loose and connected. So man will change in that dimension and direction. if they feel the strength of our soul of physicality in a condition of another planet cannot support structure, will become the same as the worm. But would us as a structure dig into the ground of the planet, or shall we be a flying worm? The interaction of the fields of this flying worm, would it create a light with the environment of the planet? What many of us have seen as a cigarette light shape floating. Would the structure of us will not support a skeleton and we become the ball of lights many of us have seen with intelligence, knowing miracles? Now, we have now even brought you to understand what you see as a cigarette lights in the sky or the ball flying around is a being with the intelligence knowing where he's going. He's going fast to another place. He has seen the Niagara Falls. He wants to go see the pyramids of Egypt. This is his aura, his interaction of the soul of physicality and the soul of the man with interaction with the fields of the gases of this. Then you understand there is life beneath us, within the still different life structures and layers of this planetary system. There are cavities within the structure of every planet that does not contain anything but fields, and new life in these fields has been created. And life lives by what is available to it in the time, place, and position. As I said many times, there is even life within the center of the sun. You cannot be any different, because if the fields in different strengths lead to the creation of the man, the fields in a higher order interaction has to create a condition of life. It has to create condition of the maturity of understanding of the time, place, and position. As I said, we gradually open your eyes to the truth that when you land on the moon, a flying light does not become a prophet to you if he shows you something. You just take it as another sign of the creation, another beauty of the Creator. I'm made man in an image of myself. But the beauty of it is that I have many images as I interact in different fields, in different strengths. I'm made life in the image of myself. And not only that, life exists in every dimension of the universe. Is the interaction of the spirit of the man or creature with its environment, which decides the shape of the being and not the essence of the intelligence of the being. I made the universe, the image of myself, as a light, as a soul, as a sun. And the physicality comes from the interaction of the sun with its environment to manifest itself as planet and the moons, or as a man and the creatures on the planet. The system built in this gives you the opportunity to show the beauty of your soul to yourself and nobody else, and to teach you how to reach it. It's a tool for you to get to know how to operate where your soul is. We don't do anything else. The flight, we call it a flight system, but if in fact, in reality, is an expansion system of the soul. In a way, it's a key to unlock the soul of the man from the prison of the physicality of the man. When we go back to a lot of teachings, when we talk about from the beginning that the soul of the man, what you call the spirit, or you call the soul of physicality, has imprisoned the soul of the man And if you learn the other parts of the teaching, where, like a tokamak in a plasma condition, you cannot hold the plasma unless you have another plasma which can contain. So your spirit has created a net around your soul by field energy, nothing else.
Could you just explain what you refer to as spirit?
Soul of physicality.
Thank you.
In a cultural, religious, you call it the spirit. Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is your soul of physicality. And in the work of the enhancement unit, when we put you in it, we, in a way, dilute this. That allows the soul of the man to expand beyond. But still, this has a limitation to what he expands to and where he gets in contact. If you have a balloon and then you force this balloon, you fill it with air, and then you force it, you put pressure on it. What does it do? You see a little bubbles sticking out, because now the field pressure creates this. In the world of plasma technology, we don't put the pressure on it. We dilute the strength of the field of the spirit or soul of physicality, and then the soul decides to go, brother, mother, another position in the galaxy. There's no difference. We don't let this to blow up and the balloon to explode. We allow, we reduce that this becomes the new shape. Now the spirit or the soul of physicality is diluted inside. It'll be very interesting in a coming time when man matures in more detail in the knowledge, you will see your physicality totally different. Now we look at the physicality of the man in a physical dimension this way. But when we become mature and we look at our spirit or the soul of physicality, we will not see this shape. No way. We will see a field transition. You know, the best way I can explain it, and I usually explain teaching with children, is you go on a rope. Yeah? You go on a rope, and this is your body. And you're trying to balance on this rope. You move an arm up, you move an arm down, you put a leg up, you put a leg down, and you find your balance to stay on the rope. But your shape doesn't change. It's very much the same as we'll see in the soul of physicality in the dimension of energy. We see everything in a compact. In physicality, you move a hand and a, what do you call it, a leg to balance yourself. In a world of plasma, you create balance with your other systems in the environment. One day, when you understand this becomes very clear. You understand what the job of the enhancement units are. As I always said, we give you a Rolls Royce. It's beautiful. It's full of everything which a man is dreaming. Status of perfection when you reach. In the knowledge of the man, we give you the knowledge of Creator. It's that Rolls Royce. Now you know you have a soul in it. But the only difference is the Rolls Royce is on the street. It doesn't belong to you unless we give you the key. It's the same with your soul. The Rolls Royce, the beauty of your soul is there. Now with the enhancement unit, we give you the key. the richness, the luxury of understanding, the knowledge of the creation. That's the only difference. We are, in a way, the key to the knowledge of the universe. Here you have a key to get into physical matter to say you have reached a state itself up. With the enhancement word, we give the key to be able to enter to the knowledge of the universe. That's all it is. It's not a magic box. It's understanding the work of the universe, understanding what it is and how we create that creation. I don't decide where you go. I don't decide how part of physicality manifests itself in that dimension. I've asked many people who've been through the system, and I said, you know, did you have a drink with your father or your brother or whatever who died years ago? Yes. Could you bring it back? No, because you're in the dimension of the energies. If you go in the dimension of physicality and you went to New York and saw your brother and he shared a glass of wine with you, you can bring still the glass in your hand because you're in the dimension of the. But in the dimension of when your grandfather died and you met, in the dimension of soul, there is no physicality because he has lost, he has exchanged the maturity of the soul of physicality. The spirit is gone. There's a difference when we travel you with the system. The spirit and the soul are together. When you die, you leave the spirit of the totality behind. That's why you cannot come back to create it. Because the, what I call the composition of the physicality to become another part of other creatures does not allow it to come back. Because if you're going to bring all the pieces of the spirit of the man into creation, to come back to the future, as you call it, you'll be a piece of worm, and then God knows the lizard and the fly and everything else. The spirit of whatever they ate and whatever children that was created from them during the time of your death on this day. So it's impossible. But in the dimension of the soul, you don't have the spirit with you. You have the soul, the energy of the soul. And that's why I said, man, if man knew what happens to him after death, he has no dimension of physicality. And when the soul takes position in another dimension in the universe, then in that position, if he decides, if the conditions create an interaction with the fields of the inertia of the environment, then he will create his own physicality through the inertia, what we call the new spirit will be created. Because he has to slow down, and let it slow down. It changes the same with the soul of the creator. When it comes down, it reduces, becomes the man. But in essence, the fields of his creation.